you can optimize your day to align with these natural highs and lows. This approach leads to better focus, better performance, and ultimately less stress. Hey, what if I told you time management is a stinking myth? Today, we're going to talk about why that is. We're going to jump into what you should be managing and how it can improve your career, business, and life. So let me dive in. When we talk about productivity, one of the first things that comes to mind is time management, right? We've all heard the usual advice. Use this planner, a day planner, or download this digital app, or prioritize your task using this technique, or batch your task to be the most efficient. I mean, these all sound logical, right? I mean, after all, it's all we've been taught. And some of us learned this in school, and many times time management wasn't taught in school, but we just knew that we can manage our time better. We'll have more hours in the day. We'll be able to do more. We'll feel less stressed. But as I just said, what if I told you that time management is a myth? And you've heard that right. I know there's plenty of gurus out there talking about time management, but I'm a firm believer that time management, as we commonly understand it, is not only overrated, but could actually be causing you more stress than it's actually worth. And as counterintuitive as that sounds, focusing on, instead, energy management. Not time management, energy management is the real secret to achieving lasting productivity and balance. So, most traditional time management tools are techniques. These techniques are designed to help you manage your busy day. Wow, that sounds great. They become like monsters. Like if you use a to-do list, it becomes this thing that grows and grows and grows. It's like a weed. And some of these time managements, I've been in people's offices where they have these time management things on their walls, and they're like works of art. They're beautiful, color-coded. But you know what? They're anxiety inducing. So if you're trying to fit everything into a neatly structured time slots, you may find yourself constantly adding new tasks to this ever-growing planner, to-do list, whatever you want to call it, and it never seems to shrink. So this endless cycle of planning and tracking tasks often becomes a sense of overwhelm, anxiety, stress, rather than a sense of control. And in fact, time management can sometimes create even more pressure, especially when it's all about trying to squeeze in as much as possible into your day, into the finite time that you have during the day. And many high performers I know have tried every innovative time management system there is, these digital apps to planners to whatever, hoping that a magic solution will appear that will help them juggle their complex schedules. But after a while, they discard them. They're often frustrated that these systems aren't working or delivering, and maybe they try to download the next magic pill or the next silver bullet, whatever it is, but they do not work. And they end up just feeling as busy as ever and maybe even more exhausted than before. And that's despite all the tools and techniques. And hey, I'll raise my hand, I'm guilty. I've talked about different techniques of time management. And some are decent. They can help a little bit, but man, I am now on team energy. And let's talk about that and why this is the hidden problem, a lack of energy management. And it's often missing in all of these time management systems. They don't talk about this. It's a key factor that impacts productivity is energy. Energy plays a much more significant role in how we efficiently or inefficiently spend our time. And it's more than what people realize. When we fail to understand and manage our daily energy fluctuations, now energy levels go up and down, they peak and trough, what we're doing is we're setting ourselves up for ineffective work and burnout. Again, energy levels fluctuate. They fluctuate during the day, and sometimes they're high, sometimes they're low, sometimes they're triggered by what you're working on. You can work on something and it can shove you into a low energy state, or you can be working on something or meeting with someone, boom, your energy level shoots up. But no matter what, they greatly influence the quality of our work. When we're mentally sharp and alert, man, you You can work on these high value projects. You can do a lot of great things that require deep concentration and creativity. But when our energy dips, you know it, right? You just want to lay on that couch and be a vegetable, and often this happens while we're at work and we find ourselves reaching for tasks that require much more focus or cognitive effort than we have available. And many times during our high peaks, we're doing it wrong. We're answering emails or filling out routine paperwork. So the solution isn't about managing time again. It's about effectively managing our energy. And once you begin to understand that once you begin to understand your energy patterns, you can optimize your day to align with these natural highs and lows. This approach leads to better focus, better performance, and ultimately less stress. So here's the solution. Write this down. You've got to start by identifying your energy patterns. And the first step to doing that is just look at how you spend your days. Track your energy levels. Do it. In fact, tracking energy levels is rather time consuming, but this data is gold for you. This is key. If you can track your day, what am I working on when my energy feels high? What am I working on when my energy is low? What if something caused my energy to dip? What was that? You're looking for patterns. You're looking for things that can really help you. And this investment in time to collect this data will pay off by helping you work smarter, not harder. So start paying attention to these energy levels when they peak and when they trough. And notice when you feel most focused and most productive, and when you feel mentally exhausted or distracted. During these tracking days, make a note. Make a note of what you're working on again, okay? That's very important. Once you observe these patterns, you can begin to structure your day more intentionally. The goal is to schedule your most important tasks during your peak energy times. And then reserve those menial tasks, the email or text messaging or doing that horrible paperwork, right, during your low energy periods, okay? Now we can maximize, this is a cool thing, think about this. You can maximize those high energy peaks. And one of the ways to do that is what we recommend to our clients is flow sprints. And flow is being in a zone, right? When you work on something, I don't know if you've done this, but you work on something and then 2 hours later you realize maybe you forgot to take lunch or you just worked constantly. That's a flow. You're in the flow. You're in the zone. But you can structure these in the zone moments around your peak energy. But a warning, set an alarm. Don't try to do these for more than 90 minutes. 60 to 90 minutes is the sweet spot. All right. If you try to power through for 2-3 hours, what happens is you become so exhausted at the end, the rest of your day is lost. So 60 to 90 minutes of distraction-free focus on your high-value projects. And during these sprints, man, do eliminate all distractions. Turn off notifications. Put your phone in the drawer. Turn off any notifications on your computer. Close tabs and commit to focused work without multitasking. And this focused effort is not only more efficient, but it also allows you to dive deeper into creative or strategic tasks, producing better quality results in less time, quite frankly. So the idea behind these flow sprints, again, is by dedicating yourself fully to a task for a set period of time, you can really enter this flow state. And those 90 minutes are going to go by fast. You'll be deeply engaged. You'll be performing at your highest level. And do this when your energy is the highest. Because your brain can tackle these complex problems, man. And these flow sprints give you the space and the time to really leverage that mental sharpness, okay? But this is key. After that 90 minutes, don't do this. This is one of the biggest mistakes that high performers make, is trying to power through to the next task. After a flow sprint or after they've done anything, and what happens is you're really mentally exhausted. Go through that flow, again, 60 to 90 minutes, sweet spot, but your brain is tired. It's a muscle. You may not feel the burn like what you do when you work out with weights, but your brain is feeling it. And if you don't recover, if you don't try to take some breaks after these major tasks, after most of your task, You're just not going to be efficient. So you want to recharge. Start by taking a 10 to 15 minute break after your flow sprint, after a meeting, after a certain task. It's simple. I mean, go for a walk outside, breathe in the air, or grab a healthy snack, or maybe close your office door and meditate in silence. These breaks give your brain time to recharge and stay sharp so that you can better and more efficiently use the time you have in the day without being totally exhausted or even physically exhausted, okay? And it seems kind of counterintuitive, but taking these regular breaks and slowing down, man, actually allows you to speed up. Rather than powering through, when you're mentally drained, you recharge, you come back, and you're more sharp. You have more focus and clarity. It works, y'all. Try it. A minimum 10-15 minutes after each major task. Okay? Let me know how that works. Now, again, key point, we're going to manage energy. We're not going to manage time, right? You're not going to manage time anymore. You're going to take a look at your energy, because when you start managing your energy instead of time, you're going to be doing more in less time. And you're going to feel better at the end of the day rather than totally mentally exhausted, where you go home and you just become a vegetable, right? And that's what happens when we try to power through. And that's what leads to overwhelm. That's what leads to burnout. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by the pressure to manage your time better, remember this. It's not about managing time. It's about managing your energy. Write that on a wall somewhere. Manage your energy. So if you want to unlock your highest level of performance and reduce stress, start paying attention to your energy. How many times did I say energy in this video, right? Because it's key. It's key. High energy is key to your life. All right? So I'm glad you watched this video. Tell me how it works out for you. If you have issues, challenges in managing your energy or really identifying the patterns, reach out to me. All right? I'd love to talk to you, love to help you, see what the issues are, see if we can figure out what's going on with your energy levels during the day, and maybe put together a roadmap for you to stay focused, to walk away from the edge of burnout, and to find fulfillment and peace, because that's what we do. All right. So do share this video with somebody who may be overwhelmed or somebody who's burning out. We can help them. And I appreciate you being here. Subscribe. It helps the channel out. And we'll see you soon in the next video. Stay strong.